Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about Judge Scott McAfee's disposition of pretrial motions from Sidney Powell and Ken Chesebro. So remember, everything else we're wondering, will it be 1, 2, 6, 8 months or more? This is the immediate trial that is happening. The jury is scheduled to begin to be chosen 2 weeks from today, and I think you can expect them to be seated maybe a week after. So this is the time where Chesebro and Powell throw everything against the wall, hope something sticks, and maybe hope that they do something. They haven't really thought it through too carefully to create an issue on appeal if and when they lose. So in contrast to everything else in Trump world besides the fraud trial, which is ongoing, this is the real deal that's happening now. Okay, headline number one, Scott McAfee, whom I think Trump wants to be in front of, continues to be really solid, prepared, disposed where he wants to decide things on the bench and not even do a written motion, disposed where he wants to push back on really stupid arguments, but basically polite and really knows the law, etc. All right, take them one at a time. Powell. She filed two motions. One said there's been prosecutorial misconduct in my case, so dismiss everything. The other said there have been Brady violations, meaning the prosecution has failed in its constitutional duty to turn over exculpatory information that would tend to show I'm actually innocent. Those are the claims. The reasoning, I kid you not, is basically this, and that's all. I'm innocent, so that stuff's got to be there. There's got to be evidence that I'm innocent that they didn't turn over. That's what she's saying for one. And there's got to have been prosecutorial misconduct. That's what she's saying for two. And McAfee on the bench gave that the sort of treatment that it deserves. So the prosecutorial misconduct one, he basically ruled from the bench. He said, you've given me nothing. Moreover, the Georgia, and here's where he had really gone to school on things, 1960s opinions and the like. Even if there was a little bit of impropriety at the grand jury level, that's not a reason to dismiss the indictment, which is what you're asking for. You haven't given me a reason to dismiss the indictment. You've given me a counter narrative. So go ahead. The way to try to vindicate that is a trial in front of a jury, which is happening. So forget about that. The other one, just because, again, she'd given nothing, but he wanted to, try to focus concretely, if possible, the Brady motion he has taken under advisement. Expect a written opinion and soon, rejecting that one. And now Ken Chesebro, the other putative co-defendant with Sidney Powell, come just a couple weeks from now, continues his really puzzling piss poor, because peas are on my mind. Puzzling, piss poor preparation for this trial. I mean, he's got actually some arguments to make. He's a lawyer and he's trying to say, "Oh, I was just giving legal advice." Of course, if you read the indictment carefully, the special counsel is saying that might be true for a while, but once you sent this memo on December, whatever it was, you really went over to the dark side, the criminal side. But everything he's filed has been really weak. And this one was a failure on the part of one of the prosecutors who's specially appointed to have filed some piece of paper. And really, that's all. And what McAfee says in his written opinion is, hey, you might, there's a provision of Georgia law that says something like this doesn't permit an immunity, doesn't permit dismissal of charges. And McAfee says a little bit tartly, you might expect that if a motion to dismiss would be dealing with this safe harbor provision, which seems right on point. But you would be wrong. All Chesebro has tried to do is drop a little footnote that really isn't very responsive at all. So, it's a weak motion out of the gate, but then it gets immediately leveled by this principle of Georgia law that basically Chesebro says nothing about. He I don't think is that bad a lawyer, but man, the counsel he's hired for whatever reason, including maybe lack of funds, have been really singularly unimpressive. So McAfee, again, solid, a little bit sharp here, but completely justified. And he is, definitely gearing up for trial to start in a couple of weeks. There's actually a new hearing that's having to do with starting to talk over questions for the jury questionnaire on Monday, and that's what we're talking about with a trial like this. He's actually called, very intriguingly, a couple defendants in for a status conference, and one wonders what that might be about. A lawyer for the Trump team and the director of election operations for the Trump team, who had said anyway that he turned down a plea bargain overture. So, but we'll check if that has any bigger portents. In general, yesterday was a time where Trump covered the waterfront with motions to try to dismiss or delay just about everything out there, except Fulton County, which is not going to be, he isn't looking at trial at the earliest for many, many months. But anyway, whereas everything else is sort of, beginning to go into, a trot. Chesebro and Powell, we're talking Cantor moving to Gallup. And relatedly, we're going to be seeing the entire case that Fani Willis is charging all 19 with, because she's made clear the evidence as to any of them is the same as the evidence as to all of them. And that's what's going to start to be unrolled very soon as a jury is selected. So, 2-3 weeks away. Stay tuned. That'll be fairly high drama. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.